So, good afternoon. We are back again with the podcast. And this time it is after a victory. We're going to win the league. We're back. The process is banged. And the hype around the social media world is a madness. It's almost like we're 12 points clear at the top of the table. It's unbelievable scenes. So we're going to go through the game, get everyone's thoughts on that. Jez, how you been, mate?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, good to see everybody else on here today.
Yeah, man. And Chig, hope you're well, mate.
You all right, mate? Yeah, I'm good. Not bad. You are?
It seems like forever since we spoke, mate.
You know what I mean? Making a nasty habit of it.
And Dan, how are you?
Yeah, good cheers, man. It's nice to actually see a goal that we can celebrate. Jesus. It's been so long, bruv. So good to be back on with you guys, man.
Yeah, nice one, man. And Kenny Ken, fresh from the barber shop.
Well, the thing is, I left my Arsenal face mask in it, so I had to run back. That's why I was a bit late for player ratings, because it was in summer in Finsbury Park. But the win is win. For personal reasons, I'm glad that we won as well, because I come from a family of Gooners, and I'm a descendant of a Gooner, and you know what I mean. So that was a much needed win. And it was just really nice to see the crowd really, really stay back, clap. And, thank God there was no Sweet Caroline, that we had Curtis Mayfield move on up.
Oh, is that what they played instead?
Yeah, I think the fans voted against Sweet Caroline. Leave it to Ellie Hearn and, Matchroom, and leave it to, Wembley. A lot of us don't think Sweet Caroline's a football song. Well, not an Arsenal song anyway.
Not an Arsenal song, definitely. It was funny. I was laying on the beach last week and I could hear that song, right? And I was like, where's that coming from? There's somebody on a flipping yacht. Yeah, like out in the sea.
Neil Diamond, I know you made a lot of dough out of it, but you can't have people, saying, so good, so good, so good. Stop it.
Kenny woke up and chose violence today. Let's get into the footy, man. Jez, obviously, I know your thoughts from your fan cam, obviously, but anyone watching, what did you make of that yesterday? What was the positives out of the game, obviously, other than the 3 points? And give everyone your breakdown, mate.
Yeah, as I said, it's 3 points. It's our first goal of the season, and we're now down to -8 goal difference. So we've got to be positive about that. I'm still not. I'm still not sold, to be honest. Let's be fair. We used to battle Norwich, and obviously I only caught glimpses of the game. I have watched it this morning on replay, but I still think there is so much lacking. Tiramisu looked really good. Tomiyasu, I mean. He looks really good. I'm impressed. Woeful guard. Well, we know what he's about, and I've not seen anything to impress again. And my concern about him is, under this manager, will he improve? No, I don't think he will. I don't think any player has improved under Arteta. In fact, I think some players have actually regressed. So, yeah, I'll take a positive, and it's a win. Well done to the guys for getting that win. Let's be fair, we should have had 3 or 4, to be honest. There was Aubameyang, ESR. They wasted some pretty bloody good chances there. Tomiyasu was unlucky with his volley. And I just hope we can kick on from here. We've got Burnley next away. And, Turf Moor is not an easy ground to go to. It's small, it's tight. So I hope we can get a positive there. And then, of course, we got our friendly neighbours up the road. So, but I just make a point. I watched that Palace game yesterday, and Spurs were bloody awful. But the point is, they have got a world-class midfielder as their manager who has clearly got a game plan, unlike Arteta.
Vieira is all right, yeah.
Yeah. Vieira has, I think, a structure in place. He has a direction where he wants his team to go, and it certainly showed it yesterday. And thank God we weren't playing Palace at Palace yesterday, because we'd have had a new one, Rich, I'll tell you. They tore that Spurs midfield apart. So, yeah, I'll take the positive. It's a win. 1-0. We're down to -8 now, so let's move on.
I could listen to you all day, Jez. I swear, you're hilarious. Oh dear, it's true as well, man. It's very true. We're down to -8. Come on, the process is banged. Chig, obviously, we did the watch along together, mate. And I was just sitting there, just saying how crap we were pretty much all the way through it. I was like, this is just embarrassing. Like, we're struggling against Norwich, and they ain't even got their best 11 on the pitch. But what did you make of it overall, Chig? And what was the highlights for you?
It was over. We won. I think for me, with Arsenal, it's going to be a lot of our games this season. We're going to be like, at least it's done. At least it's over. It's going to be one of those sort of seasons. It's a shame because I thought we would, like Jez says, this is a game that we're used to not only winning but dominating pretty easily. I said it during the watch along. If you had to, at the start of the season, pick banker 3 points for Arsenal, I know everybody used to do that, and not so much more these days. But if you had to do that, even at the start of the season, people would have picked Norwich at home.
Mm.
So that is worrying. That we only just about scraped 3 points there. I think most of us see Burnley as a tricky challenge because of just the way they play, and they have a habit of catching us right when we have a dip in form. Burnley always have this habit of catching us at that point. So I think it comes down to the fact of, all right, well, we're not playing well. We're 16th now. We're -8 in goal difference. How can we build upon that? I think the next game will be a draw. I suspect we'll draw it. And I get the impression that will just about be enough to keep this man in his job. What I'm wondering is, what will it take to push him over the edge? That's my question. Because we're gonna need almost a Palace versus Tottenham type result, because I don't know about you guys, I didn't see Palace beating Tottenham 3-0. So we're gonna need almost a surprise result in order to push Arteta really close to the edge. And quite frankly, we're 16th. What equates to a surprise result these days?
That's very true, man. It's very true. And listen, let's be real here. Although we had 30 shots and Chris Wheatley sitting on Sky Sports saying it was a jubilant, buzzy atmosphere yesterday, and everyone was there in excitement at the game, and Football London are doing their PR as usual. Yeah, we watched the game. All of us watched the game. Yeah, despite having 30 shots yesterday, I think about 5 were on target. Yeah. 5 were on target. One of them was Pepe's shot, which got tipped onto the post, which we then scored. So there's two of the 5. Yeah, Aubameyang had another one. So I can only remember about 3 shots that were half decent. But my point is that despite having all of them shots, they could have still nicked a point at the end when Ben White just let the ball run straight past him and Pookie nearly scored in stoppage time. It's like, this is what makes me laugh with this club. It's like, we get one win and our fans just go and celebrate like they've just won the title. It really infuriates me, man. But Dan, what did you make of it, man?
Sorry, I just wanted to also add, I was doubly pissed yesterday because not only did I predict that we'd only win 1-0.
You did.
Right? I thought I'd made like a number of changes in my overhaul for my fantasy football team. And I thought I'd put Ronaldo in. I thought I'd put Lukaku in. It turns out I didn't put none of those people in. I was so pissed. I was so vexed.
I put them in.
I was so lost. Oh my
That's-
gosh!
Oh, I bet you're fuming, man. Ronaldo
Oh.
scored more goals than us this season in
I
90
put him in and I
so
put him in as
angry.
captain.
Go on, Afsal. Go on, mate.
Sorted, yeah.
But Dan, what did you make of it overall, man? What was the positives and that for you?
Well, I think the positives is that we won, Lee. Do you know what I mean? We needed 3 points badly, and I think anybody would have taken a win just because it's getting so. It's just getting so boring watching us play so badly and losing. So to play bad and win, I suppose, is the kind of positive. I mean, it wasn't shambles. Don't get me wrong, but there was nothing convincing. It was underwhelming. There was nothing for me. You make a great point. 30 shots. That's all I kept hearing people say. We had 30 shots. How many of those were clear-cut chances? They went over the bar, wide, deflected off defenders, blocked. None of them were, I would say, Aubameyang's maybe in the first half, where Tim Krul just got a hand to it. That was probably the clear-cut one. All the others were nothing. What I don't understand about the fan base, though, and I brought this up yesterday, Pepe gets so much hate, and I don't get it. He is still our most threatening player. He's the only one who looks like scoring, in my opinion. And he's being mismanaged so badly because of this stupid inverted wing-back thing that he keeps doing. So Pepe's now stuck wide out on the right. I want to see him in front of goal. I never see Pepe in front of goal now because of this system. And I hate that. I want a manager to come in and make this player shine. Because if you fit this guy into a system, you will watch him score so many more goals and be involved in so much more of our play. And that's what I want to see. Yes, his touch was poor at times yesterday and he can be frustrating. But I think this guy is so good and I think he's just being mismanaged badly. I also looked at the kind of formation yesterday and got confused. We started like 3 at the back and then we ended up doing like a 4-3-3 like Man City do. When Partey come on, he stuck Erdegaard and Smith Rowe kind of ahead of him, both kind of getting in each other's way, I thought at times. It wasn't really working. But we looked a little bit better going forward, I must admit. The positives for me were our best signing in this summer has been Lokonga. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Lokonga is the only one who looks to be the shining light. All this money spent on Ben White, and he still looks like he can't head the ball, which is worrying. When you're a defender, that's kind of the first thing you need to do is head the ball. And he doesn't look like he's comfortable doing that. But I thought his partnership with Gabriel looked okay. So there's some positives there. And of course, Tomiyasu looked really, really lively. I'm still not sure he's a right back, though, if I'm honest with you.
I don't agree.
Yeah, his aerial ability is amazing, but I don't really want my right back to be heading balls. Maybe he should swap with Ben White.
Yeah.
Because he looks like...
I predict that will happen. He'll be a centre back before long.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, 3 at the back looks like he might be okay, but I'm not so sure that he's a right back. And the last player I'll mention is Maitland-Niles, because this is a player that I just think gives his all. I don't actually look at this player at all and think he's ever had a horrendously bad performance for Arsenal. And he's another player this manager has mismanaged in the last 2 years. And now we're starting to see him playing either in the midfield or at right back and give 110%. And that's all I can ask from players that wear this shirt. I don't care that he's not going to be the next N'Golo Kante or the next Lauren. But what I will say is he will try his absolute hardest and the damnedest, and that's all I can ask of a player. And when I saw that with Maitland-Niles yesterday, I thought, good on you, son, because you have been treated badly at this club by this manager. You have been mismanaged, and you've come in and had a good game, and you've given 110%, and the fans loved that, getting his foot stuck in. Well, how good was it not to see Granit Xhaka stinking out the place in the centre of midfield?
Don't you think it's amazing how we didn't play and we won a game?
It's unbelievable. And like the athleticism we had, Lee, without Granit Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? But we watched in a couple of games time.
Our strongest bit, our strongest area. Because
honestly, mate, you wait though, Chig. As soon as he comes back, he'll be straight in that team.
Straight back in the team. Yeah.
It's embarrassing, mate.
Yeah, 100%. You made a good point a minute ago about Ben White not being able to win any headers. I think he won 1 out of 4 aerial duels yesterday, and I think he only won 1 out of 3 non-aerial duels. So he won 2 out of 7 of his duels yesterday against a striker who's probably no taller than 5'10", right? And he had Ben White, he had Tomiyasu one side of him and Gabriel the other side of him, which made him look a lot better yesterday than he actually was. Yeah, because I thought he was shocking yesterday. Kenny gave him a 7, I think, on player ratings. I was sitting there thinking, I'm not going to argue with you, Kenny, but I'll be giving you that.
I told you why, and I'll explain.
Yeah.
But do you want to go
I-
Afsal? Because Afsal's chomping at the bit, and I'll go after Afsal.
Go on, Afsal. Welcome back, mate. It's been a long time.
I came on deadline day for about 10 minutes, remember?
Yes, you did. You're right. Yeah.
And then, yeah, you didn't let me finish because I was going on and on. But yeah.
Yeah. And we've been going for about 2 hours. And I wanted to go on bed.
Anyways, yeah. I wasn't, Lee, I've been going for years home and away. I'm not been to a single game this season. I'll tell you straight. You know me, I've been going since what? For about 7 years home and away. No, but I'm just like, this year, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to the Spurs game, but I don't have that urge to go every game anymore, you know?
Yeah, your wife. It's your wife.
No, I'm just fed up with it. Well, it's
Your
not.
wife.
It's not because we're losing. We were losing under Wenger and also Emery. I
No,
was
it's
still
because,
going every
Afsal,
week,
sorry to
but
cut in, mate. It's because you're jet setting on holidays every month, mate. That's why.
I'm actually traveling a day after the Spurs game, but I was actually booked to go on the Spurs day. But Spurs games I can never miss. Home and away, I have to be there every season. Spurs game. But
Go on,
anyways,
Very good. That's good of you, mate.
I wasn't there yesterday, but I'll see you at the next home game, Kenny. But
That's
yeah,
really nice of you to
it's
show
a-
your face.
it's a good win, but at the end of the day, Lee, it's Norwich, yeah? Like, okay, we won, great, but I'll only start getting slightly excited if I see consistency, you know? I want to see us beat Burnley away, Spurs at home, Palace at home, and Villa at home, and then I can maybe say, okay, maybe signs of improvement. I'm not going to say there's an improvement after one win against the worst team in the league at home, 1-0, right? So let's not get carried away with that, first of all, right? Second of all, five of his signings were in the starting 11 yesterday. 5 of his signings. So that's half. For me, Arteta now has his own team. There's no excuses. I don't want anyone to say it's a Wenger team, it's a this team, it's a that team. No, this is Arteta's team. Arteta has signed many players, right?
The whole
Signed-
back line was his, other
The
than
whole
Tierney.
back line, okay, obviously Tierney, but he signed Tavares, yeah, as a defender. He signed Mari, Cedric, Gabriel, Ben White, the right back. I can't pronounce his name, but
Tiramisu.
yeah, well, him, yeah. The right back, that's his whole line. He's got Partey, Lokonga, Odegaard. The only player which is probably not his player, which is regular, is Aubameyang and Pepe and Tierney. So technically, he's got his own team. So there's no excuses for Arteta, right? This so-called project, process, whatever you want to call it, has to start happening now, right? Edu's comments were saying the project can start in whatever, it's for the future. No, I'm not interested in the future. I'm interested in the present. I'm not interested in 5 years' time. I want to start winning games now, right? So for me, this is now or never. It's as simple as that. Yesterday, it was a decent win, 30 shots, but we need to take our chances more, you know, because against any other team, first of all, we're not going to have that many chances, and if we're wasting those chances against teams like Tottenham in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to be in trouble. It's as simple as that. The Burnley game will be tough. Burnley away is always a tough game for Arsenal. We drew there last year. Am I expecting a win? I don't think so. I'm expecting probably us to be a draw, which will obviously be very disappointing. But like I said, I'll only start getting happy once I see consistency, and consistency means 10 games. Over a period of 10 games, I want to see results, not one game here, one game there. We need to show consistency. It's as simple as that. Because for me, we are a million miles away from the top 4, like a million miles away from the top 4, and I've written that off. I'm sure we've all written top 4 off this season because we ain't getting there, no matter what. So I want to see a period of consistency from now to the end of the season. But will we see that? 99% no.
And this is why, like, I don't jump up and down. Like, at the end of the day, we beat Norwich.
Yeah, Lee. Like, if you had to say, if we had this podcast before the game, if you had to ask all of us what would be the score, I'm sure most of us in here would say 1-0 to Arsenal, right? We kind of knew because Norwich don't score goals, right? They've scored 1 goal the whole season. Norwich do not score goals. And I think it was a game where we were always going to sneak a win. We were always going to sneak that win. Like I said, we're at home. We're against the worst team in the league. But the real test is going to be the next 2 games, because away games we've been struggling for years in away games, and Burnley away, their crowd is always up for it, right? Their crowd will be up for it, and the Spurs game will be another test for Arteta. If he doesn't win those 2 games, then you know what? Like I said, I want him gone right now, obviously, but surely his position will be, you know, you can't. Surely there's no one who can, you know, argue his cause, because people say trust the process, but he's 2 years. Like, I mean, how long are we gonna wait? Does this mean trust the process? Does that mean you have to wait 5 years for the process to bang?
Talk into the phone, Afsal. You're gone, man. You turned your head away.
Oh, can you say that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go on, mate.
Okay, I'm just saying. You know, people are saying trust the process, but it's been 2 years and we haven't seen any improvements. In fact, this team's gone down in the past 2 years. So how long are we meant to wait for this process to start banging? 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like it's always a long-term project at Arsenal. We're the only club, like, that have ex-players doing kit launches. Yeah, we're the only club that have 4, 5, 6 journalists constantly putting PR out about the football club. No other club does this.
We've spent the most money in the Premier League this season. Highest in net spend, highest in purchases. There's no excuse but to start performing on the pitch this season. Simple as that. When you spent 150 million in a transfer window, there's zero excuse, right? If Man U, okay, when in windows when Chelsea, Man U, or Liverpool spend that much, our fans are the first to say, "Oh, but they spent 150 million. They have to win the league. They have to do this. They have to do that." So why aren't they saying that about us? I'm not saying
because Arsenal fans are the most deluded fans in world football. In fact, world sport.
Why aren't our fans saying we spent 150 million? We should be aiming for top 4. Why aren't they saying that? Because
they know that their manager Afsal is not good enough, but they fancy him, which is the only reason he's still got a job.
No, but according to according to a lot of our fans, we've got a great centre back, we've got a great keeper, we've got a great midfielder, we've got a great striker. So if these players are so-called amazing, then why aren't we getting in the top 4? If they're so-called amazing, I don't think they're any good. So I don't think with this squad is good enough to get the top 4. But according to our fans, if they're so good, why aren't we getting in the top 4? Can you answer that?
No, it is a good point. And this is the thing. Our fan base. I know you've been waiting a long time, Kenny. So I'll keep this quick.
That's right. Don't worry.
Our fans gas up this manager like he's the second coming of Pep, right? He's more like the second coming of fucking Pulis. He is shit, right? We've then got our fans gassing up Tomiyasu. Yeah, to be fair, I thought he played really well yesterday. And
one game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm not getting carried away.
10 games.
I've seen Mustafi and Koscielny have 20 games unbeaten together, and people were calling it Kostafi.
William's first game last year was amazing, but yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Then you've got the centre-back, Ben White, and Gabriel. Gabriel, for me, I like him. I think he's a good player. But why are you constantly on the halfway line going like this behind a player and fouling him? He still does it. He done it yesterday 3 times. Yeah, he done it against Man United, and he should have got a second yellow in that game. Yeah, and it's like, why are you trying to do that on the halfway line, mate? There's no need to be pressing people when they're backing into you, and you're all over the back of them like that on the halfway. They ain't fucking going anywhere. Yeah. So for me, there's still a question mark about him. Ben White's crap. I don't care what anyone tells me. He is fucking shit. Yeah. Sambi Lokonga's decent, but our fans are going on like he's the next Vieira. Yeah. And like, if you go all the way through our squad, our fans as a majority and an overall gas up pretty much every fucking member of that squad. You're right, Afsal, yeah? They gas up the manager as well. So if they're all that great, why have we only scored 1 goal and 16th? Like, it makes no sense. Yeah, maybe they don't believe it. Maybe it's just, oh, I'll just put it online so I can look like the best fan. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, because these fans are fucking deluded, man. Like, proper deluded. But anyway, rant over, Kenny. Go on, mate.
It's funny. I've got to pick up on some of your points. There's very interesting points that Afsal made. Your rant is actually quite relevant to the first point I'm going to make. I was coming back from the game after cutting my hair and finding my Arsenal mask. A long story. So, sorry, Jez. if only you could have just waited for your ending, we could have done player ratings eventually. But, getting back to that, getting back to that. I was in the sort of the waiting room before the train at Finsbury Park, and there was these 3 Arsenal fans, and speaking to them tells me everything I need to know, and it exemplifies why Arteta's doing the job, because one of them, had a bit of drink, but all he was talking about, but didn't we win? It was such a great game, and sometimes, right, it's not about the win; it's about being with your mates, and you can't be negative. We've had so much success, and those are great times. Then there was another guy who was agreeing with me, but still Arteta, and there was the other guy who was silent. And I thought those 3 guys exemplified that everything is wrong with his football team. When I talked about standards, they weren't having it. They were talking about Chelsea and their money. When I was talking about how Chelsea copied Arsenal in order to for Cobham, London Colney, they weren't having it. We've got to be ourselves. They never accepted that we're massive spenders, and that exemplifies everything was wrong. They were talking up all the players that we were talking about yesterday in the fan cams, watch-alongs, and everything. So it's a major problem. But in terms of the game, still can't break teams down. It's like I saw a point from Jeff Arsenal, and me and him have epic rows, but we love each other a bit. And I'm the only one in this. Very few people on social media knows what he looks like, and he's massive. So don't try it, Lee. He'll crush you anyway.
I'm blocked, mate.
Jeff Arsenal. So but saying that, he says that Arteta waits for players, the opposition, to put men behind the ball, and that's when he starts playing, and that's exactly what happens. We were on the front foot, but we weren't on the front foot. We were very ponderous with our pass. We were trying to inject a bit of speed. But we quickly allowed the situation when we never stretched Norwich. We were playing, forward passes, but right down the middle. And all that did was encourage Norwich to play in a sort of Christmas tree formation, just set the pookie. You're going to get scratched, but do your best. And that's what it was. People talk about the 30 shots on goal, but yeah, as I said, none of them on target. A couple of them are Aubameyang, no confidence whatsoever. This isn't the Aubameyang of 2019. And the 2020 season, the tail end when we won the FA Cup. And I don't think we're ever going to see that Pierre again, because those chances that Aubameyang had, and I know people are going to say, yeah, they were half chances. He puts them away. The chance where he tries to shoot from distance to try and chip the keeper, stuffs it. The chance where he's through and goal, and everyone said Tim Krul made a great save. Not really. Aubameyang puts that away. And that's the thing. Our style of play, because Norwich are playing men behind the ball, was basically the out ball from Gabriel, Lokonga, and to a certain extent Odegaard, where Aubameyang was on the shoulder of Hanley. And the mixed-race Nigerian guy who's Irish, I'm going to try and pronounce his name, Ogunlumbeme. Yeah, those two, right? Ogunlumbeme. That was the out ball. We weren't doing that enough. And we haven't got an Aubameyang with confidence. And, I'll take Dan's point. Pepe, with space, is fantastic. He could be our match winner, because I looked at him and I apologise for the criticism I had of him last season, because he's opened my eyes and I've seen him live, and I think you're right, Dan. When he gets in that box, either on the left hand side or right hand side, he's just dangerous. He just opens his foot and you think, you know what? I expect him to hit the back of the net. That's how good he is. And Saka as well benefited from the Smith Rowe coming in the field. But as we said before, still loads of questions to be asked in all areas of the team. I think defensively, I thought, contrary to what you said, Lee, I thought Ben White held the defence together. And you have to accept one thing, is that Ben White wasn't bought to be a Tony Adams great in the era or Martin Kidd. He's bought to be good on the ball, lead the back line and read the game. That's what he bought him for. And I think, whether you like a lot, Lee, you're just have to get used to it. But I do get your point. You like a stopper who's like, bang.
Yeah,
tackle,
yeah.
Gets breathes down the net like Mark Key and all elbows and everything. You're used to like Peter Storey, Frank McClintock, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, getting on the back of players, hands on the shoulders, over the heads, elbowing them. That's not the sort of centre fast we've got at the club. So I do. Yeah, but
that's where my issue is with it, Kenny. We've paid 50 million quid for somebody who can play with his feet.
But that's
with
how
the ball,
Arteta's
but his
played.
job's to
Yeah,
defend.
Yeah, but you got to remember, David Luiz was a massive fixture, firstly under Unai Emery and under Mikel, because the way Mikel sets up his teams, we are virtually plan B is the long ball from distance.
Yeah, but
So
are we any better? Like, I know going forward, Ben White could potentially get better under.
We're
this
not better
manager,
because
not yet.
we're not
But are
better.
we any better than we are with Ben White there than we were with David Luiz there?
Not really, because simple reasons.
So there we go.
But that's the thing. Mikel Arteta's football, and I say it's a great respect to Mikel, is the epitome of David Moyes when he was at Man United in those 9 months, and the epitome of David Moyes when he was at Everton to a certain extent. Mikel Arteta still fears the opposition more than bigging up his players and said, "Look, we're Arsenal. We've got great internationals, great players. Let's get on the front foot and start attacking." That is, and that's the thing. I think a lot of Arsenal fans have underestimated Mikel Arteta's coaching prowess to the extent that because he's working with Pep, that we're going to get Pep football. They couldn't be more wrong and mistaken in their kind of belief and their support in Arteta if that's why they want him to keep the job. They've been very, very mistaken.
Now, Jez, let me ask you about Ben White, because like you've obviously grown up in an era where defenders could actually fucking defend. Yeah. And now it's all about we need a ball playing centre back. We have to have a left-sided player on the left, like a left-footed player on the left. Like, what's a load of cobblers, right? If you're a good centre back, you're a good centre back, whether you're left-footed or right-footed. It doesn't matter where you play in that centre for me. But like, you know, for me, it's a damning indictment of fucking Ben White that we've had to go and buy a right back that's 6'2" that can head a ball. Yeah, because Ben White can't. And like, you're playing for Arsenal and you can't head a fucking ball and you're a defender. Like, for me, I just think that's embarrassing. 50 million quid we paid for this lad. Do you think that he can like kick on and actually get a lot better? Because I don't rate him. I don't think you particularly rate him that highly either. But do you think he could potentially kick on and actually grow into that role? Or do you think under this manager with the way it is at the minute, he's just destined to flop?
With Arteta, I have not yet seen any player progress. So no, I don't think he will progress. I would like to agree with Kenny. Made a point there about Ben White. I don't rate him at this point in time. I think his aerial ability is, for a central defender, very lacking, and that's a big concern to me. I've always been led to believe that if you're a central defender, big, strong, you can actually head the ball, knock it 20, 30 yards out of the danger area. And I haven't seen that. And speaking to mates of mine who are Brighton fans, they said, when we were talking about buying him, he's not that great. He isn't that great. And the fact that you're paying 50 million for him is ridiculous. But I would hope he can, with the right coaching, improve his aerial ability. But I'm sorry, I can't see it under Arteta. I could actually honestly put it to you in this way, that the way some of our players have regressed, and I said on the last podcast, I think Leno has got worse under Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
Aubameyang certainly has regressed from the player that we did have in his killer instincts in front of goal. That's long gone. And my concern for Ben White is that he will actually go the other way. I don't think he'll go up the ladder. I think he'll go down. And that is going to be a big problem for him, big problem for us. The fans will be on his back. What a waste of money, this, that, and the other. When in actual fact, what I think this guy needs is good management, good coaching, and let him kick on.
No, well said, mate. Like, listen, there's obviously a player in there. Yeah, he's obviously very good with his feet, and he can switch a ball and do the Van Dijk 60-yard diagonal. He can do that comfortably, yeah. And that's the way modern football's gone. It's like, oh, you have to play with your feet and all that crap, yeah. For me, I'm just old school with it. I just want my defenders to defend, get the ball and pass it to a more talented player. yeah, and let them do the work. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes. And like, I understand, like, not every centre back's great at everything they supposed to be great at. Yeah, when I look at somebody like Van Dijk, I don't see a flaw in Van Dijk's game. But there's not many players like that defensively in world football anymore. Yeah, so then you have to settle for somebody like Ben White, yeah, or Gabriel. Yeah, and Gabriel and Tomiyasu are going to cover. You said it yesterday, Kenny, on your fan camp. They're going to cover the deficiencies of Ben White, but as a free, yeah, across that back line, and then Tierney making it a 4, it could work. Yeah, the problem we've got is we've got a manager who doesn't know his arse from his elbow and changes the starting 11 every fucking week. Like, literally, I think that was we had 38 games last season, so we've had 42 games since the beginning of last season. I think that was the 41st different starting 11 yesterday. So he's only kept the same starting 11 in one game back to back. That's it. Yeah, in since last season. But Chig, what do you make of Ben White? You're on mute, mate.
Gone, sleeping.
Chig, you there, mate?
I'm still here, mate. I'm still here.
Go on, man.
Sorry, what was the question?
I fucking love you, Chig. I said, what do you make of Ben White?
Oh, Ben White. Okay, we're still on the subject. Please.
I'll brought it up, Chig. I'll brought it up.
I'll make it nice and sweet so we can move on, right? For me, I always thought he was a decent enough defender. But I think unless you're a defender that has all facets of the game, and it's very easy for people to pick out what a defender doesn't have, and especially when you spend as much money as we do, that's where the fault begins. So for me, I'm not as critical about the Ben White signing because I didn't look at him as a bruiser type defender. All I hear is, oh well, he can't header the ball, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I knew that. I knew that 3 weeks ago. I knew that 4 weeks ago. What I understood what we're buying was someone that we're adding to our team who supposedly are players who can do that stuff. So for me, wasn't that the whole idea that we didn't really need a central defender, but what we needed was something that complemented what we already had? So from my perspective, I've never really, I guess, been that disappointed by the signing because I always thought to myself, well, I think during the course of the season, he will complement what we have. And the hope is that he'll, become succinct with Gabriel. And I can see that. I can see that because Gabriel, I think the qualities that Gabriel has complement what Ben White has well. So I can definitely see that. And you know that Chig knows defenders. So you could definitely see that. But in my view as well, I said just give the kid a chance. You know who I'm also giving a chance as well, and I know you're going to bring him up, is Ramsdale. I was encouraged yesterday. I thought he played all right. These are players now that I'm just going to stop, judging and thinking to myself, they're either A, the best player ever, or B, they're the worst player ever. I'm just going to see what I see, and then go from there.
The one thing I'll say to cut in, I don't think they had any real decent efforts on goal, and it'd be very interesting to see if he's going to drop his shoulder against fucking Lukaku, yeah, like he did against Timo Pukki. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big difference in quality, and I think the only 2 efforts he actually had to save were straight down his throat, and even one of them he parried it up in the air. And it's like I'm going to give him a chance, obviously, because I don't like Leno. I can't stand Leno. But I don't think this goalkeeper is going to kick on and be the amazing world-class goalkeeper I think everyone thinks he could suddenly turn into in 3 years' time.
Well,
yeah, I don't see it.
Yourself, if he's better than Leno, he's already improved the squad.
Yeah, that's true, but that shouldn't be just the benchmark that he's better than what we've got. No, it should be going at the best we can get. Was Ramsdale the best we could get? Probably not. Anana's levels clear of that guy. But yesterday, I thought the one thing I was encouraged by with him was his distribution. I thought he's levels clear of Leno on that. Yeah, he looks a lot calmer on the ball. Although, like I said, it was Norwich. It's not Chelsea or City.
Yeah,
it's-
no, you're right, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And let's face it, we've seen Leno mess up against the likes of Norwich before. And what I liked about, listen, Ramsgate, this is the first time I'm saying good stuff about him, so let me have it. Let me have it. I think literally, this is one thing I will say is that he's at least assured of himself. He's at least confident in himself. And that's all I can ask out of any Arsenal player. Even if you're terrible, just be assured in yourself and the decision that you make within yourself. So, yeah.
Nah, nice one, man. What do you think? What do you think, Dan?
Sorry about that. I was literally stepped away.
You fell asleep. Let's not flagging it.
Don't try it.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Listening to everybody, actually, like, I think it's clear that this team actually isn't a shambles. I think the team is being coached a shambles. So we're not playing as a team. And I think if you put on paper the Arsenal squad, it's miles ahead of majority of the teams in this league, apart from maybe the top four, and some people might say Leicester. But when you look at the actual 11 that we put out yesterday, it was probably one of our strongest, right? And I am telling you now that there are West Ham, Everton, Villa, Leeds, Wolves, Spurs, and maybe Leicester that would all take at least 8 of those Arsenal players, in my opinion. Yeah. So I
Did
might
you say
take
Villa in that? Did you say Villa?
quite a few
I'm
of
not
the
sure
teams,
about
I'd
Villa.
say.
I'm not
But
sure
no,
Spurs
I
would
get your
take
point.
8 of our players in Leicester. I don't know. Leicester and Spurs?
Yeah. So I look at that and think, why do people expect us to be finishing 12th or 13th? It's because of the manager. So I don't actually think the team are as bad as a lot of people think or say that they are. I think it's got maybe 2 or 3 players that still need to go that are getting into this first team. But apart from that, I look at the side and think, actually, yeah, it's not that bad. So why is it that everyone thinks we're going to finish 12th, 13th, top half just? It's because the manager is not good enough. So I look at the way that we are currently, and I think there's a lot of issues that I'm seeing, and it is tactically. It's nothing to do with how poor the players are. How can Unai Emery get 31 goals out of Aubameyang and Arteta can't? How can Unai Emery go 22 games unbeaten with Rob Holding and Socrates, and we can't go 2 games unbeaten with Gabriel and Ben White? So I look at that situation and think that is what the manager is getting stick for, and deservedly so. So we've beaten Norwich. He needs to go unbeaten now to 22 games like Unai Emery did, because he's got a much better side. And that will not happen under this management. So I still think that he's going to get sacked, and it's a matter of when, not if. You're going to see probably in the next couple of games potentially 1 point, because Spurs have the ability to damage us. Burnley, this manager still hasn't beaten, by the way. So we're going to go to Burnley potentially getting 1 point and maybe losing to Spurs. And I think that will be the time where the fans hound him out and he's gone. And in a way, I don't ever want Arsenal to lose, but I do want this manager gone. And the only way he's going to go is if the fans get this like on his back and get him out of this ground. And that's going to come at a couple of bad losses. And I can see that happening, and I hope it doesn't, because I'm an Arsenal fan and I want us to win the rest of this season. But I do not want this manager here long term, and I think the only way we can get rid of him is to make our voices heard by either leaving the ground and not going to games, because there is still empty seats, by the way, because me and Kenny have been there. There's still empty seats. Or we get on the guy's back and hound him out, just like we did Arsene Wenger and just like this fan base did to Unai Emery. And I think that will only happen if we get to it. And I think, like there's just said in the comment there, the weakest link is the manager. I cannot understand why people are starting to think that because we beat Norwich that we're then going to turn this around now. Because it does kind of stinkly at the moment, a little bit like Boxing Day, where we were going to see the back of Mikel Arteta, but he fluked it by. Everyone said it was a genius effort putting Smith Rowe into the team. It was forced, mate. He was forced to put those kids in that side, and luckily he went on a run, and it's stinking a little bit like that now, beating Norwich and then Burnley. If that goes well, all of a sudden, wow, this manager deserves time. Look at this new team he's bought. I can just see
they've
it all
gelled.
now.
They're
I can see
gelling
it all now.
together.
I can see it all now, bruv, and I don't want that because we all know that it is not going to work long time. And I stand by what I said.
Sorry to cut you off, Daniel. I've said this for weeks, right? Every single win this manager gets is another month he keeps his job. Yeah, so it's to the detriment of this football club that we win a football match. Yeah, like listen, I don't want to sit there and say I want Arsenal to lose, but I wanted Norwich to beat us yesterday. I wanted Man City to fucking slap us if it meant he got sacked. Yeah, and I want Burnley to fucking beat us because I want him sacked. Yeah, if it comes to Tottenham and we get embarrassed, I want him sacked. Yeah. And at the end of the day, people sit there and say you're a fake fan, you're this and that. These people have got very short memories because when Unai Emery, who you mentioned a minute ago, was manager of this football club, I remember the clock end jumping up and down when they scored their second goal. Yeah, the clock end, they were jumping up and down cheering. Our fans all over social media were lauding up the guy who scored the second goal for them as a hero because he's getting Emery sacked. You know, now
I will say this, just to back Dan's point up about the seats, right? One of my mates who maybe a year and a half ago applied for a home tickets, a season home tickets, got accepted like the other day, and it kind of made me think to myself, hey, I thought the waiting list was a lot longer.
Nah, it's so easy to get season tickets. I know people who 2 weeks ago have been getting offered and they've been on the waiting list for like a year or two. It's really easy.
That's because people have had enough of it.
They're giving them for fun.
I
mean, all my circle have loads of spares every game. It's really bad at the moment. Like, there's a lot of empty seats. We're all getting spare tickets,
but there's a couple of reasons. Sorry, Dan. Yeah, I'll let you crack on in a second. There's a couple of reasons why there is so many tickets available at the minute. Right. First reason is we've had 18 months in lockdowns where people have not been able to go to football every week. They've not been able to see their mates. So yeah, that's cool. We'll just order a pizza. Yeah, we'll order a load of beer. We'll stick that in the fridge. We'll order Domino's. Yeah, we'll have the TV set up in the gazebo outside, and it'll cost us 85 quid all in for drinks and food, and we can all sit and watch it together. Yeah, instead you go and do 85 quid to watch Arsenal Norwich each. Yeah. And you can't all go because none of you can all get tickets. So only one of you can get a ticket or two of you can get a ticket. Yeah. So that's one reason why that stadium weren't full and hasn't been full. The second reason is we finished 8th last season and people have absolutely fucking had enough of it. Yeah. We have been in that stadium 15 years and we've been lied to every year since they've been there. Yeah. Since before they moved there. Let's be real. They were lying through their teeth to us. Yeah. So people have just had enough. I genuinely believe that. And I think like lockdown highlighted that you don't need to go and watch the football at the ground. Yeah, it's great. But Afsal, you said earlier, you used to go week in, week out, home and away. And I know that. You ain't been all season because you ain't interested. Yeah?
Yeah, just watch it at home.
To the fucking stadium one bit, mate. Yeah? I don't even want to watch it on TV. Let alone pay to go in the ground. But sorry, Dan. Go on, mate.
No, and I think you all make good points. And it was very, it's been very visible to me against Chelsea and against Norwich that there are much more empty seats than there ever has been at the Emirates Stadium. And I think it is those reasons that people are so cronky out that they don't attend games. People have had enough, so they don't attend games. People don't like watching the football because it is fucking unattractive to watch, so they don't go because it is boring to watch. So there's a lot that's come in for that. I will always go to football because I've said before, football to me is the 90 minutes, but actually it's not because the rest of the day for me is what I enjoy going for because I go for the social, I go with my dad and it's father and son time and there's a lot more to it than 90 minutes of football for me. So that's why I always go. And that's my reply to everyone who says, don't complain, Dan, because you go to every game and you buy the shirt every year. Yeah, I go to every game because I spend time with my family and my friends, not because I go watch Arteta because I love him, because that's just not the case. So I believe that. And I stand by what I said in terms of the squad. I honestly believe that this side is good enough to compete for the European places. And I stand by that. I don't think we're good enough to beat Man City. I don't think we're good enough to compete with Liverpool, United or Chelsea. But I certainly think that we should be looking to try and push for that next place with Leicester, be it Spurs, be it West Ham, if they have another good season, whoever it is, I think we are as good as those teams on paper, or if not better. So why should we be trying to be looking at the league table saying 11th or 12th is about where we're at? No. We've got Thomas Partey, we've got Pepe, we've got Aubameyang, we've got Saka, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli that everyone's raving about. We've just bought Lokonga, who's been one of our better players. We've got Gabriel and Ben White now, we spent a lot of money on. Yeah, we spent 150 million on players. We should be able to now progress. So I want to see as close as we can, and if it gets to the stage, 8 games in, that it's not working, you bring in Antonio Conte, who everyone says is unrealistic, but I think would come, and I still stand by that. And you go to the top with it, because I believe that he can progress us and compete with the very, very best, because that is what he demands. Diego Simeone and Antonio Conte for me is where I'm aiming. I'm not aiming at these young, unheard of coaches. I want the best to come to this club, and I always will do and always have done. And if I don't see that, then I want this regime fucked off, because I do not want anything more than the best, mate.
100%. Well said, man. Come on. Well said. And do you know what? I've always found it funny that people are Arteta in but Kroenke out, because all I get labelled, is you're negative, you're this. You lot are sitting there crying about an owner who is in charge of the process you've been ramming down my throat for 2 years. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then when you question the process, which is now turned into a project, it's basically a process project. Yeah. Right. And it's like you sit there and you think, you say something about it and they go, yeah, but then do you trust this board to go and do the right thing? And well, you've been trusting it for 2 fucking years, mate. Yeah. Everything changes. Kenny, I want to ask you a question, right? Because somebody put this on Twitter the other day and I thought it was fucking brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. He said, and the tweet is, and I quote, of any of these signings we've made this summer, if they would any of them have changed the result at home to Villarreal?
No.
There you go. That tells you all you need to know, then, isn't it?
Because simple reason is that as Dane says, the personnel in the squad is there, but again, it's how the manager implements his tactics. If he's still going to be too wary of the opposition and basically say, right, play within yourselves and let's hit you on the break at home, then you can't win any football match. You can't win any football match. It's actually a surprise when I watch Arsenal that we actually win a game. And that's all last season and this season as well. I'm actually surprised when the Chelsea game was a surprise. Man United away was a surprise. But that shouldn't be like that. We're a massive, massive club. But under Mikel Arteta, whenever we win a game and we play well, it's a surprise. It's not the norm. I just can't get my head around that. Why he's still allowed to carry on as manager. And you are right. Trust the process. Kroenke's are bad, but you're Wenger-ing. Yet Wenger was very much earning £11 million a year, basically dumbing down our expectations in conjunction with the Kroenkes, who backed him because he didn't win a trophy for 9 years. And then you turn against Unai Emery, and I'm still going to get to this point, and it's a very boring point, but it's very relevant. How can one man who was here for 18 months, one man, be responsible for everything that's gone wrong within this football team for 10 years? Can someone just explain that to me? Why you've got people who Dan has worked with, we've worked with previously, but they can still tell me that they had suicidal thoughts when Emery was in charge, despite the fact that they were at Fulham away in 2018, seeing we got our Arsenal back. We were in the middle of
I was there that day.
Can someone explain to me how one man is got the blame?
Because they love a scapegoat at Arsenal, man. They love deflecting the blame, Kenny. Yeah, like yesterday, the biggest fucking cheer of the day wasn't Arsenal's goal; it was Tottenham getting piped 3-0. Yeah, let's all laugh at Tottenham. Yay, ha ha ha, Vieira. Ooh, yeah, they're 6 points fucking clear, mate, of us. Yeah, they finished above us for how many years in a row?
5.
Yeah, let's all laugh at Tottenham. Well done, whoopee-doo. Yeah, they've scored more goals than we'll score in the next fucking 5 games, and they've scored that in the first 4. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They've conceded 3 goals all season, and they were yesterday. Yeah, but let's laugh at Tottenham. Yeah, we're sitting on -8 goal difference.
I laughed. I laughed straight
With
up.
Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
laughed.
you have a little. I watched the second half. I never watched the first. Yeah, I watched the second half. Palace fucking hammered them. Yeah, hammered them. And I was sitting there, not fucking laughing at Tottenham, thinking, "Fucking hell, we're up against it against Crystal Palace when we play them." Yeah, I weren't sitting there laughing. No, if people want to laugh, cool. Yeah, that's up to them. They can do what they want. But for me, to sit and plaster that all over your socials, let's all laugh at Tottenham. Like, why? They're 6 points ahead of us. They got a better fucking manager. Yeah, they look like a team, although yesterday they looked shit. Yeah, but they will finish above us again comfortably this season, with or without Harry Kane bagging 25 goals.
There's a difference between see. This is where you go over the top a little bit. There's no, for real. You can laugh at Spurs. No, it's true. You can laugh at Spurs and it not be the highlight of your weekend. That's the difference. It's the people that make it the highlight of their weekend, which is the people I have the issue with.
Yeah,
but
Chick, one sec. Dan needs to leave. Dan needs to go, man.
Even me, Lee, I've got to go.
That's how. Wait a second, man. Wait a second, Dan. Thanks for coming on. I know you got to go, man, and I appreciate you coming on for an
look
hour.
after
Cheers,
yourself,
boys.
mate.
Yeah, man.
nice
Great seeing
weekend,
you,
man.
boys. You take
Top
it easy,
man.
man. All right.
Lee,
you,
I've
man.
got to go as well. Thanks a lot.
Everyone's bouncing. See you later, Afsal.
See you,
Thank you,
take
man.
it.
Appreciate
Bye,
you
bye,
coming
bye.
on
Love you
again,
loads,
buddy.
bro.
Take care. Go on, Chick. Go on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, Spurs conceding goals is never not going to be kind of moment, because even I was a bit like, right, it's 3-0, and I started cheering Vieira's name for a second. But I won't tweet that. I'm not going to go ahead and start tweeting that out and start.
I understand that. But that's my point with it, Chick. Yeah, it's like we'll all sit. Like I said, I was doing the start of the watch along, and I've got my phone there. I'm watching the game. Yeah, and I'm like, flipping hell. Odson Edouard's just come on. First couple of touches, Bosch, goal. Why didn't we sign him? Yeah, 14 million quid, by the way. Yeah, linked to him, and our fans were saying he weren't good enough. 3 minutes later, Bosch, he scored again. And I'm like, this guy scored more goals in 3 minutes than we've scored all season. Yeah, and he plays for Crystal Palace. Like, let that sink in. Yeah, but then our fans are just like, this is the thing, right? I have never seen a fan base, yeah, so deluded, number one, yeah, but so reactionary to anything. Like, and when I speak to other fans, like when I speak to Matisse, he supports Chelsea, obviously, yeah, and I ask him, when you do kit launches and stuff, do the ex-players drop that? No, it's the first team squad. They put the kit on. They have the photo shoot. We don't need ex-players to promote our shirts. The players do it. And I'm like, okay, what about you journalists? Like, do they all come out with a PR? No. Our journalists are kind of cool, man. They're pretty sweet. And I'm like, so we've got the worst journalists in the game because they don't say it as it is. Our ex-fucking players are all on the payroll, so they couldn't give a shit what happens with a football club. Our fans are starving of success. So now it's turned into, let's just slag off every other team for the fun, just for the banter. Yeah, because we ain't going to win anything. And if we do, then we'll ram it down everyone's throat about the manager because he's done a double. No, it weren't a double. He fluked an FA Cup. Yeah. And then he won the fucking glorified soccer aid. Yeah. That's all it was. It was a professional soccer aid. And that for me, yeah, sums up as a whole Arsenal Football Club. And that is exactly what they have wanted to achieve for the last 20 fucking years. Move to this stadium to get exactly what we've got now as a fan base. Yeah, don't worry about winning, because if we don't win, we just laugh at Tottenham when they lose, or we laugh at United if they draw, and we laugh at Chelsea if they lose, and we laugh at that team. No, we should be looking at Chelsea and saying, why the fuck ain't that us? Yeah. And then you've got players like Rob Holding who come out and say, oh, we don't aspire to be like them. Well, fuck off back to Bolton then, mate. Yeah, off you go. Yeah, 2 million quid. Well, I'm sorry, he cannot be good. Yeah, he was 2 million quid because he's shit. Yeah, let's be real here, right? And for me, I'm not going to stop with what I'm saying about this football club until they do what they smashed that stadium down for and fucking compete for a title. Yeah, I'm not stopping, right? People are saying, oh, yeah, but 08 we competed. Yeah, we did. And Eduardo broke his leg. Yeah, but if we'd done what was required in the transfer window that summer, we wouldn't have needed him. Yeah, like when he was out, obviously he was a fantastic player, but we wouldn't have lost that player and we still would have won the league because we would have had adequate cover. 2013-14, we should have won the fucking title. Yeah, Aaron Ramsey was bagging goal, broke his leg. Yeah, But again, we didn't do what was required that summer. Yeah. Then 2016, Leicester win the league. We only bought Petr Cech where no one was available. Yeah. So when people want to sit there and cry about the fucking owner, yeah, you made a great point, Kenny. Cry about the owner all you like. That man he backed that guy, yeah, Wenger. He backed that owner, yeah, for a fucking couple of quid in his pocket. Yeah. And he protected that owner when he should have been standing going,
the thing is, Lee, the elephant in the room when Kroenkes came to the club, especially when they had more sort of say within the board, was we were in the middle of going 9 years without a trophy. And that's something that a lot of Arsenal fans tend to forget. They always talk about the 3 FA Cups. The FA Cups we won in 2014, 2015, 2017, and obviously Mikel's FA Cup. And they always talk about laugh at Spurs winning trophies. Let's not forget, we were Spurs up until 2014. 9 years we didn't win a trophy, and that was well talked about. And that's when Kroenke came into the football club and said, I didn't bring by the club to win trophies because we were in the middle of a trophyless run. That's not. I'm not saying that Kroenke should exempt from what he said, but he was genuinely protecting Arsene Wenger, and he also said we've got the best manager in the world. What? So again, that was Arsenal protection at all levels. And I think that's why I always challenge people when they say we didn't buy Arsenal ring trophies and they see it as a red flag. They should remember to look at the historical part of it and look at the date it was said, and then look at Arsenal and what they were in the middle of. So to a certain extent, I do blame Kroenke, and I've always, because at the end of the day, my beef with him is not the money he spent; it's about you can't put YTS trainees in graduate positions. Because it's a detriment to the football club, and he's doing it time and time again. How can a billionaire who basically has got a multi-billionaire company in the United States, his wife, I think, owns Walmart. Surely, if you're billionaires, you do hire the right people. How could you be so neglectful of this club?
It's true.
How could you be so neglectful? You hire the wrong people. I don't get it. Do you care? Does it bother you? These people are incompetent?
I think that they like the power and the exposure that owning a Premier League football club gives them. And I think it's the same if you filter it down to players. I think that a lot of the players that play for Arsenal, not just Arsenal, but other teams in the Premier League, yeah, I play for Arsenal, mate. Yeah, I'm in the Premier League, and they're bowling around. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I love Nicola Pepe. Yeah, how fucking dare you put that out on your Instagram yesterday? Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, we are staying up. Thank you, Arsenal fans, for all the support. That's him. Nick, how fucking dare you put that on your Instagram? He's changed the caption, by the way, yeah, because he got backlash off of it, yeah. So he's now changed that caption. So thanks for all the support, saying, yeah, but this is
right, it is.
Yeah, but this is the thing. How fucking dare you, mate? You're on $100,000 a week, or whatever it is you're on. I like him. Don't get it twisted. I think he's a sick footballer, yeah. Right? And I think he's been badly treated. Who the fuck are you after one win to come out giving it the big and we're staying up? I don't care if it's a joke. This ain't a fucking joking matter, mate. Yeah, we are 16th in the table after we smashed that stadium down. What, 16 years ago, 15 years ago, we moved into this ground. Yeah, and we've done nothing since we've been here. And you've got the audacity to come out and say we're staying up. Like,
how stay up after one win?
Yeah,
okay, we're 16th. We lose against Burnley. We lose against Spurs. We're back down there again.
Yeah, probably bottom.
You know, I just don't get. All right, I don't think we'd be actual bottom. I think it'll be Norwich, but we'll be bloody close down there. So that's an absolute bollocks comment. And the fact that pisses me off with players is they come out with this bloody bullshit. Let's be honest about it, guys. These players don't give a living fuck about Arsenal. All they want is that. And it's not just Arsenal, it's every professional footballer in football today. They get overpaid, they can buy whatever they bloody like. They don't give a shit about the badge. They don't give a toss about the history or what the club stands for in any shape or form. And I just can't be dealing with things like that. That really winds me up more than anything. It really, really does. Sorry about that.
No, it's true. Listen, they most of these players don't even like football. I'm convinced of that. Yeah, they don't even like football. They're just good at football, and they've wedged their way into a good career out of it. Yeah, Hector Bellerin openly admits he don't watch it. You don't watch football. I don't like football. Blah blah blah. I bet there's fucking hundreds of footballers like that. Yeah, Danny Rose is another one. Yeah, don't like football. Yeah, I'm just good at it. Yeah, well, mate, hold up. So you're good at football, but you don't like it. So are you ever going
Bobby
to buy?
Zamora's another one. Bobby Zamora, William Gallas, Asset
Yeah.
Cotto don't like football.
Yeah,
In
but they're
fact,
just good at it.
I know Chig wants to make a point, but one thing, Chig, you're going to laugh about. It's all you're going to laugh about is I'm hearing through good authorities that the only reason why footballers want to be double jagged is so they can go out clubbing.
Well, apparently they don't need to do that anymore because the vaccine passports have been quashed.
But that's insensitive.
But that sums up the mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hear that, Chig?
Yeah.
It's mad. It's actually mad. And the thing that pisses me off with it is, like, it's not so much the money side of it. They get paid a lot of money. And I understand why they get paid a lot of money. People say it's a short career and blah, blah, blah. It's got nothing to do with it being a short career as to why they get a lot of money. They get a lot of money because the football club earns a fucking fortune. Yeah. Like this football club that we support, I think last season brought in about £500 million before it's paid anything out. Yeah, that was without fans at the ground. £500 million fucking pounds. Yeah, and we are shit. Now look how much Man United bring in, how much Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, all these top clubs that win shit. Bayern Munich, yeah, Juventus, all these top teams. They bring in a fortune, man. Yeah, because they win shit. So that's why players get paid a fortune. No, is anyone really outside of Ronaldo and Messi? Is anyone really, maybe Lewandowski, you can throw a few others in there, maybe 5 or 6 other players we can name, Neymar, Harry Kane, maybe, I don't know, fucking a few others, whatever, yeah? Is anyone really worth their fucking dough?
No.
There you go. But they pay it because these clubs are shit scared.
But they are, to a certain extent, they are. Because the reason why they are, not from a playing point of view, and in terms of like their footballing ability, it's because the clubs have allowed them to market themselves in such a way that they have become worth that. And again, I say it once, I say it 1,000 times. The biggest feeder is fans. We're the biggest feeders. Just like if you've got a partner, you've got a kid or mate who's overweight, and you're bringing him. You're going through Uber Eats. You're getting the kebab and bringing food, or the Chinese or the Kentucky to bring him food. You're a feeder. We're a feeder. Us fans are feeders. Putting names on back, singing. You hear fans should always, in my opinion, sing Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Come on, you Reds. I don't particularly sing player songs because Aubameyang burnt me in 2000. Sorry, not Aubameyang. Adi Boyle burnt me in 2008, and the way we now know he was forced out of the football club. But I blamed Adi Boyle for that, and I thought I'm not getting attached to a player. But the more you get attached to a footballer, the more they become worth the money you're paying them because you're subsidising their image rights.
Yeah, it's true. You are, and the funny thing about it is like, you know, these players. Like I see yesterday, Aubameyang stopped at the traffic lights. Yeah, and like and he took a picture with a young boy and his dad and that, yeah. And I was like, that must be really nice for that kid, yeah. Right, but Aubameyang's on 375 grand a week, apparently, yeah. That's a lot of fucking money, mate. That's like £20 million a year, right? 20 million a year, right? Now do that for 4 years. That's 80 million pounds. Now add in the 60 million we spent on him, yeah. That's now 140. Add in the wages he was on before that, which was reportedly 140 or 200, whatever it was. We've now done about 180 fucking million quid on this geezer. Is he really worth 180 million pounds? Like in the grand scheme of things, has he brought 180 million pound back into this football club? Probably not. Yeah, but they'll pay it because they're shit scared as a football club that somebody else will pay it. Yeah, so that's why they do it. And sometimes you get stung. Yeah, we got stung with Mesut Ozil. Yeah, Mesut Ozil is probably the only player I could genuinely sit here out of all of the players we've had in recent years and say he probably did bring his money in and more. Yeah, because of the sponsorship deal. Oh, Mesut Ozil. Oh, yeah, we'll have some of that. Is Aubameyang in that category? Probably not. Yeah, Granit Xhaka fucking ain't marketable. The geezer's a clown. Yeah, he is. He's a clown. Yeah, and it's like when you look at it, and you look at our wage bill, it's about 200 million quid or whatever it is a year. Our income's about 500 and something. So there's 300 million difference after we've paid that. Then we've got to pay the upkeep of the stadium. We've got to pay other little things and stuff like that, training ground upkeep and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's like, we make a lot of money, but we also spend an absolute fortune out on players that are not worth a quarter of their money. Yeah, probably not even a tenth of their money, some of these players. But they do it because they know that the good and the great of the football club, yeah, going forward, it's worth doing it. It's like Jez, if you've got your mortgage, yeah, and your mortgage is say 1,100 quid a month, yeah, but then you can have an extension done, yeah, for £200 a month extra, yeah, over 4 years. You're going to do the extension, isn't you? Because it's going to add to your. You know what I'm saying? And that is how this football club and all football clubs look at it now. It's like, let's get 500
I'll
million.
turn it off.
So we're going overpay for this player and this player and this player in the hope that we can get up there and earn even money out of it. Speculating to accumulate. Yeah, but we do it badly. Yeah, because we overspend on shit. Yeah, whereas when you look at other teams, Chelsea have not overspent on
I'll
the
turn it off,
carpet. He's already bagged 3 goals in 4 games or 3 games.
10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. So they ain't overpaid on Lukaku at all because he will repay every penny of that fucking 100 million. Because if he fires them to the title this season, that's their money paid. Do you know what I'm saying? Where's our money being repaid? It ain't. So we're hoping that the sponsorship deals that we were getting anyway are now going to double in value to cover this shit anyway. Whereas Chelsea and all the top clubs will go and speculate to accumulate, but their speculating to accumulate always works. Yeah, because they always win. Yeah, so their players pay for themselves. Ours don't. Yeah.
Very true, mate. Very true. But that sadly is the sign of the times. That's what football has become. But going back to that Pepe comment, for these people that understand what it means to fans, I mean the Arsenal fans, I'm talking about us, that we are in 16th spot. We are. I don't care what anybody says. We are a big club, and we've proved that for a long time. And the fact that we are down in 16th position is disgusting. And the fact that we're out of Europe, we've got no revenue coming from Europe, first time in 25 years. It's just a never decreasing circle by Arteta. If we go up to Burnley next week and lose up there, I can't remember the last time we lost at Burnley, to be honest. But
last season, but not at their ground.
That was our
or did we lose at their ground?
No, we drew, didn't we?
Oh, is that when Xhaka got sent off?
I think we drew up there, didn't we?
We drew and we lost to them last season. Yeah, we drew and lost to them.
Hey, where's Chick?
He jumped. He went out. But yeah, last season we lost to them and we drew to them. Granit Xhaka passed their striker straight in on goal, and it bounced off him and went in. Chris Wood. Yeah, but was that at their ground? I can't remember.
Yeah,
We lost at home, didn't we?
Yes, we did. They went home and drew 1-1 at their ground. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we go up there, and the way I feel about the way I feel about how Arteta sets the team up, I cannot honestly sit here at this point in time and say I am confident about going to Burnley. And I've said before, Turf Moor, it's a small pitch and it's a small ground. It's tight. A bit like how Highbury was. Highbury used to scare some teams because of the atmosphere and the fact it was a small pitch and the crowd were on top of you. Now, if we go up there and lose, then what does that say about the state of this management? Because if as Dan said and Kenny and Chig, we've all said it, if he loses at Burnley, he has to fucking go. He has to go. We can't piss about anymore. We have to get rid of him. Because
this is our worst start to a season before yesterday. Yeah, for 67 years, mate.
54, 1954.
Yeah, that was the last time we were this bad at the start of a season. And it's like, and he's still here. That tells you all you need to know about the ambition of this club.
well, Eddie summed it up, didn't he? He, you know, that complete prick summed it up. We've got no targets this season. Really? How can you? And let's say this is something else. Like in any business, and Arsenal is a business. If you are running a double glazing company, a building company, you have targets of what you want to achieve that year. You know, when I was in running my business, you didn't just sit there and say, "Oh well, this year we'll just we'll just plod along."
Yeah.
You have to set targets. So Arsenal, as a club, have to set targets.
Yeah. Sorry, Jez, 1 second, mate. Kenny needs to go because his food's ready.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for everything. And I really enjoyed it. It's you know, it's a breath of fresh air to, you know, to have all of us on the panel and hear different views, because all of you guys brought points in and I went, boom, I didn't think of that, you know what I mean? And it was good. And I do agree with Chig on the Tottenham thing. You know, it is good to see them lose. But, you know,
it's always nice to see him lose.
Yeah, but I think like Chig, I think what's happened is that the novelty wears itself off when you look at the table. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want us to be that kind of team that wants to stop Tottenham from winning things. I want us to be that team that stops Tottenham from winning things because we've beaten them to win that
Well
trophy
said, mate.
or win that league. You know what I mean? Anyway,
100%.
Chig, my brother. Cheers, me brother.
Cheers, mate.
I'll speak to you guys soon.
Nice
I'll
one, mate.
watch the rest of the podcast. See you later.
Top man. Yeah,
I'll get all later, yeah.
See you. Bye.
yeah, we'll do about another 10 minutes, lads. Yeah, because I need to eat, man. I'm fucking
Yeah.
starving. But no, sorry, Jez. Go on, carry on, mate.
I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Edu summed it up, didn't he? Oh, we haven't really got any target. We haven't got any targets this season. Well, sorry, mate. Us as fans have got targets. We'd like Arsenal to achieve. Now, we all know in realistic terms, we're not going to make top four. We're not going to win the league. I doubt we win the Carabao Cup. I doubt we win the FA Cup. So basically, but let's try and at least say, right, you know, let's get up into the top six. Let's not piss about.
Yeah.
And then next season, with a decent manager, we'll kick on. I mean, we've spent a hell of a lot of money this season in new players. And yeah, okay, Tomiyasu, Lokonga, they look good. You know, I will hold out and judge them. It's still early days. Ben White, I hope he kicks on. I do. Ramsdale looked okay, and he did against West Brom, third team, obviously. But it's just frustration after frustration with Arteta. And it's got to the point now, he is so lost, I think, in his tactics, his game plan. You made the point, Lee, about his constant, he's only once in one game actually kept, or in two games, kept the same starting 11.
Yeah, in the last 42 games, we've had 41 different starting 11s in the league. That's mad. People can bang on as much as they want about we've got injuries. Well, every team gets injuries. Liverpool had 20 different centre-back pairings last season. Yeah, they still finished third.
Yeah.
Man City, when we played them, didn't have Kevin De Bruyne because he was injured. Yeah. And people go, oh, yeah, but look at their squad. They've spent £1 billion in it. Well, and we've spent £424 million in 4 seasons. Yeah. And we're 16th. Yeah. There's always an excuse. And it's always the goalposts keep changing with us. Yeah. And it's like, you know, it started off as process. That was rammed down our throats for 18, 19 months. Then this summer, it's now a project. And it's like, why don't we actually say we're going to fucking win something? We want to win the league. Yeah. And it's only us that do this. And we're the only football club that I see in world football that don't have a target, constantly use PR and use journalists as PR. Over here where I live, yeah, their journalists stick it on the managers. Yeah, because they're not working for the club indirectly. Yeah. Spanish media out here is ruthless. Italian journalists are ruthless. German journalists are ruthless. Over here, some of the English ones, yeah, for certain clubs, will ask direct questions. I asked Matisse this the other day. I said, what are your journalists like in press conferences? Yeah, because I was telling him about some of ours. And he went, no, they ask them proper questions, mate. Yeah, I said, well, over at Arsenal, mate, yeah, they don't. They don't. And I see today, and I keep harping on about this geezer, yeah, because he is a massive issue. Chris Wheatley, yeah, was on Sky Sports today telling the world, yeah, that, it was an era of excitement around the Emirates yesterday. There's a lot of negativity on social media around the club, but at the ground yesterday, you didn't see any of that. Fuck off, mate. Yeah, we're sat 20th in the league before kickoff yesterday. What, and you want me to get the party poppers out? Yeah, but again, he's got to keep his little, Football London to get in there. Yeah, goal to get in there. We can interview Arteta. David Ornstein was sitting there saying about Ramsdale and what have Edison and Alisson achieved at 23. Well, Edison won a double, mate, and was man of the match in the cup final. They won 6-2 at 23. Yeah, so it's all PR. Yeah, and we're the only football club I see in world football that do this. Yeah, and it's disgusting. Yeah, and fans just lap it up. I've never seen a more divvier fan base in world sport, let alone world football, than our fans. They latch on to any tiny little thing to make it out to be amazing. Yeah. So like yesterday, Tomiyasu, yeah, good performance, mate. Well done. But we're playing up against a team that are probably just as bad as us. They'd scored 1 goal before yesterday. They've still scored 1 goal. We've scored 1 goal. Yeah. So at the moment, Norwich are our level, right? Let's not gas up these players. They beat Norwich and we beat them just about 1-0. Yeah. And there was even a debate whether the goal was offside, didn't it? Like, it wasn't offside, but
a convincing win, was it?
No. And that's the thing. If we'd gone and battered them 5-0, you could say, cool, fucking hell. Finally, he's got his players back. Yeah, the ones that were injured and blah, blah, blah. And it banged yesterday. Yeah, and then you can take that into the Burnley game. We all know what Burnley are going to do next weekend. They're going to park the bus. They're going to be physical as fuck. Yeah, and they're going to lump it up to Chris Wood up front. Yeah, and he's going to win the knockdowns, and fucking Dwight McNeil have probably scored a winner 1-0. Yeah, we already know what's happening. Nobody's scared of us, Jez. I said it on the watch along yesterday.
No, not anymore.
Pinging the ball around yesterday, just pinging it around us in the first half.
Teams used to be frightened of us. You know, they used to. It's not anymore because we are just a below average team now, and it's until we get a decent manager in and a manager who's got a decent management team around him, we aren't going to kick on. Sorry, don't care what anybody says. You know, until this fraud of a manager goes, sorry, get ready for the ride, people, because we ain't going nowhere.
100%. And everyone who's backed it and still trying to back it is going to get everything they fucking deserve this season. And this is a great comment I want to read out before I get Chig's final thoughts as well. Pookie is a small striker, but bullied Ben White yesterday. Yeah. Pookie was up front on his own and literally up front on his own. The gap between Timo Pukki and his midfield, yeah, you could have got the Titanic in there. Yeah. And he was up against Gabriel, Tomiyasu, yeah, and fucking Ben White. And he was still holding the ball up. He was still jinking past people. Me and Chig, you remember this. We thought they could have potentially had a penalty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And from one angle, it looked like it was a blatant pen. From the other angle, it looked like he tripped over the ball. I still don't know because I ain't watched it back again in slow motion. Yeah. Irrelevant because they didn't get it. But the point is, yeah, that is Arsenal in a nutshell. We win 1-0, but they potentially could have had a penalty. Yeah. And Timo Pukki nearly fucking equalised in stoppage time because, again, we just let the ball run straight past us in our penalty box like we did against Gabriel Jesus the other week. And it's like, this has been an issue at Arsenal defensively for a decade. Why can't we defend? Different players, same shit. Yeah, there's a massive, massive fundamental issue at this football club. Yeah, because I think a big part of it is the recruitment. I think a massive part of it also is the fact that, like you said, Edu didn't set a target. So if there was no target set, was there no target set before under Emery? No target under Wenger? Everything's nice. Rob Holding saying we don't aspire to be like Chelsea. Well, excuse me, mate. They sacked an actual legend. They hired a proper manager. They won the Champions League and they've won 3 out of 4 and unbeaten this season. Yeah. What do you not want to be that then? Yeah, because I do. Yeah. But what do you want to say, Chig, before we wrap up, my friend?
I think one thing that's pretty interesting, I don't know if you guys have even had the opportunity to see it, was Arteta's comments yesterday. And Arteta basically said that how the last 15 days were the best days he's had so far as a month.
I did see that. I did see it. Yeah.
And that's why, to me, if you needed anything that showed A, why we're in the situation we're in, B, why this guy will never be fired, seemingly. And you know, I don't know. Maybe the context is everything, and maybe he meant it in a certain context. But it just, for me, it spoke volumes in terms of, oh, so you're under no pressure then, because for you to say that, you can't be under much pressure to change, to do something, to tweak something, to improve things, to change our luck, to change our tactics. Nothing. And that to me just spoke so many volumes about, you know, many people are hoping that West Brom will be that game. I'm not sure it would.
You mean Burnley?
Burnley will be that game. I'm not sure it would. I think it's going to take a real shocking series of results for us to be able to say, all right, let's get this done, you know. And it's a shame. It's a shame we've come to the place that we've come to with Arsenal. It's a shame that we've come to this place with Arteta. But I said it before and I say it again. The minute you gave this job to a novice is the minute you asked for these problems. You gave it to a novice. You turned our club into an experiment. That experiment, to me, has utterly failed. So the way you rectify that now is, you know, as much as I wouldn't mind someone like a Graham Potter or someone like that, I actually think we deserve the absolutely best opportunity out there. And if the best opportunity out there is Conte, go get him. Go spend what's required. Go rectify this situation.
This comment I want to highlight as well. It said, Chig, I think what he meant by that with his 10, 15 days or whatever was it gave him a break to have a look at himself as a manager. That's probably what he was implying.
Like I say, yeah. Like I say, you know, like context is everything, and maybe that's what he meant. But it wasn't what it, as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it's not what you want to hear.
You don't want to hear that. That's not what we're seeing. That's for damn sure.
100%. Listen, big up to everyone still watching, man. Over 900 people. Big up to everyone who came on. Dan, Kenny, he's eating his dinner as we speak. I'm going to cook some steaks and have mine, and also Afsal as well. Nice to see Afsal back on. And obviously, Jez, thank you as well, and Chig, mate, appreciate it. And I'll be back again tomorrow with rants and bants at 4:00. For all of those asking when the next Arsenal Muppet Twitter edition is, I've got some glorious content for that, by the way. It was going to be tomorrow, but then I realised it's Monday and I do the show with rants, so it'll be Tuesday. So yeah, make sure you keep your eyes peeled. I'll have more content by then because our fans are relentless on Twitter today. So yeah, also got an Instagram post that's going to make it into the Muppet Twitter thing because my man tried cussing me and he couldn't even spell doesn't. You just gotta laugh. Yeah, like social media is hilarious. But yeah, the next episode 4 will be out on Tuesday. So come and tune in for that one. I won't be back again today because I didn't see Outside World yesterday. So I'll probably go and sit by the pool for the afternoon and top up my tan. So yeah, I'll be back with a vlog later tonight. That pinned comment is the vlog channel. So go and subscribe. And Chig, what's coming up? You got anything coming up, mate?
I'm just a couple of short shows on my Chick Flick channel. So go check out my channel, Chick Flicks. That's CHIGFLIX. My movie channel. Couple of reviews coming out. So take a look at that.
There you go. And yeah, we'll be back again. Jez, have a lovely weekend. What's left of it, mate?
And you.
And we're out of here. Arteta out.